Hello again, Gary Stearman with another Prophecy in the News daily update on December 6th. It is a Monday, and as you have probably read, there have been huge forest fires in Israel. Reading from Israel Today, dateline December 3rd, 2010, the worst wildfire in Israel's history had claimed the lives of 41 Israelis, burned nearly 7,500 acres of forest and countryside, and cost millions of dollars in damage by last Friday morning, less than 24 hours after it started. It first started burning shortly before noon last Thursday, somewhere outside the northern port city of Haifa, in the heavily forested Carmel mountain range. Now, if you've ever been to Israel, I'm sure you've gone up there to the Carmel mountain range and noticed the beautiful upland forests, wonderful conifers and evergreens. It's fabulous, fabulous forest. And sadly, it went up like a tinderbox. It has, by the way, threatened a number of towns, even a couple of prisons that were located in that area. People have had to be evacuated on an emergency basis, and some of those evacuations actually resulted in death. The prison wardens who tried to evacuate the one prison were in a bus carrying 40 wardens. They misjudged the speed of the fire, and their bus was consumed by flames en route to one of those prisons that we mentioned. All 40 guards sadly burned alive, and the Haifa Police Department's deputy commander, who was driving behind the bus, was critically injured. Well, this is a very, very sad story. And to add to this, it is now being discovered in Israel that arsons are spreading. It has become the fashion of the day to set forests afire, and guess who would be doing that? We have here a Debka file, dateline December 4th. Arson attacks spread Saturday, December 4th from the north to Jerusalem. Now, Haifa and the Mount Carmel region are up in northern Israel, Jerusalem down in south central Israel. And there are suddenly mysterious fires popping up around the Jerusalem area, which is also heavily forested in places. Day 3 of the Carmel fire began with a fleet of foreign planes taking off the first light to dump water and fresh supplies of retardants on the flames, and smoke again engulfing Beit Oran, Ein Hot, near Etzion, Esfia, fanned, by the way, by scorching winds. We have seen things like this in California and in various places in America where wind will kick up a fire. Interestingly, Israel has had to turn to other people for help. The Turks even helped put out the fires, flying huge Russian Ilyushin 76 aircraft equipped to drop water. And there's been a lot of internal criticism by the leaders of Israel saying, you people are not even equipped to fight your own forest fires. Well, here's the interesting thing. Up till now, Israel hasn't had to fight forest fires. But as you may remember, and particularly if you read the October 2010 edition of our magazine, Prophecy in the News, we commented on the 7-year drought that's been taking place in Israel. Drought and the conflict in Israel, which is now erupting into a kind of an advantage opening for the Palestinian enemy of Israel, who can create forest fires as a diversion. You know, when we think of Israel, we think of plenty. We think of blessing. And ever since Israel became a state, the rain returned to the promised land. And in our October article on the 7-year drought in Israel, we quoted from Isaiah 44, verses 1 through 4, Yet now hear, O Jacob, my servant, and Israel, whom I have chosen, thus saith the Lord that made thee, and formed thee from the womb, which will help thee. Fear not, O Jacob, my servant, and thou, Yeshurun, whom I have chosen. Yeshurun being a term of endearment that the Lord uses when he's speaking to Israel. For I will pour water upon him that is thirsty, and floods upon the dry ground. I will pour my spirit upon thy seed, and my blessing upon thine offspring. And they shall spring up as among the grass, as willows by the watercourses. And this is one of just many, many similar prophecies in the Old Testament, saying that when Israel comes back into the land will be watered and will turn from desert and begin to blossom. And there will be great harvests. And of course, we've all seen this take place since 1948, and even before that, as the settlers began to move in and cultivate what had been an 1,800-year-long desert waste, was suddenly a land that people have called the California of the Middle East. It produced fruits and vegetables that were exported all over to Europe. Lately, however, and particularly for the last 7 years, Israel has been visited with drought, which is now erupting into forest fires, and those fires, sadly, are being fanned into even more flames by the Palestinian enemy. And now Israel is going to have to fight an internal, if you will, brush fire war, as well as all the external brush fire wars that have been threatened all around the outer borders of Israel. The Israelis believe that there is a Palestinian campaign to keep Israel in flames, and I'm quoting here from Debka as part of the official campaign to avoid attaching a deliberate character to the widely spread outbreaks of fire. Police spokesman reported that an initial probe had shown that the Carmel fire was set off Thursday, December 1st, by carelessness. Well, lately, they're sort of having to eat their words. There have been numerous police reports from posted patrols in western Galilee and other parts of northern Israel who have reported arsonists setting brush fires on purpose. Now, we're talking all over the Galilee region, as far south as the outlying areas of Jerusalem, fire being deliberately set. The Manara Magalit Road was closed. Jewish National Fund forests inspectors asked to keep an eye out for offenders from their lookout posts. And so Israel is now on full alert in a state of deep drought, in a state of high winds from the east, and now arsonists ranging throughout the country who have discovered yet another way to harass their eternal enemy. Well, we're continuing to watch as, and I say this time and again, I hate to repeat myself, but what we are seeing in the Middle East is an ever-tightening situation, a very dramatic situation developing, and at some point there will be a crisis of global proportions. It's reported in the Bible, of course. We have no reason to believe that we're not seeing it develop right before our eyes, even now. Well, we'll keep watching. Hope you keep watching. And watch every day with us right here at prophecyinthenews.com. In the meantime, as we've said for years and years, keep watching Israel, God's timepiece, and keep looking up.